Very good morning, students. Today we start with a new topic. How do organisms reproduce? Okay. So topics to be covered in this lesson. First one, introduction of the reproduction, and then why the reproduction is necessary. What are all the types of reproduction, and then asexual reproduction and its types. Sexual reproduction in the plants and animals. Reproductive health. Okay. So the first one, introduction. So normally we know that each and every organism that produces the new individual for their development. Okay, it produces the new individuals. So these living organism that produces the new organism, it is similar to the parents or themselves. Okay, so example, human beings or elephant or giraffe, or it may be the any types of the animals. Okay, example, elephant that produces the calf. Okay, that calf is similar to the parent because of the DNA. Okay, so same like the giraffe and then human beings. Okay, each and every new organism that is similar to the parent, that is called as the reproduction. Why the reproduction is necessary? It retains the particular species of living organism. Okay, example, dinosaurs. We know about the dinosaurs. Okay, the dinosaurs are extinct animals. So now there is no dinosaurs in this planet. Okay, so we need to retain the particular species. That's why it is necessary. Then transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation through the DNA and then molecules. Variation that lead to the origin of new species. Okay, so if the reproduction is not happens, there will be a no variation. Okay, as we know that evolution, based upon the evolution, we are come from the, what is it, monkey. Okay, that variation lead to the origin of new species. So that's why reproduction is necessary. So what is reproduction? Reproduction, sometimes they will ask the question, what is reproduction? Reproduction can be defined as a process by which a living organism is able to produce the more of its own kind of the individuals. That is called as the reproduction. What are all the advantages of the reproduction? So it means advantages. First one, continuation. The self-continuation in which one generation produces the next generation. Okay, and then it is essential or it is helpful to the continuity of the species, and then it involves the transmission of the genetic material. It involves the transmission of genetic material from parental generation to the offspring or next generation. Okay, and it is also plays a very important role in the evolution. Okay, how it is an important role in the evolution? By transmit the favorable conditions or variation from one generation to the next generation. Okay, these are all the advantages of the reproduction. So before that, we should know about the fundamentals of the reproduction. What is the fundamental of the reproduction? We know about the reproduction. So once the male gamete and then female gamete fuses to form a zygote or new individuals. Okay, that is our reproduction or fertilization. So the reproducing organism that is create the new individuals which is are similar to each other, and then some case we cannot see the similar. Okay, normally we know about, already we studied in the 9th standard, nucleus. Okay, where it is located inside the cell. Okay, that nucleus consisting the DNA. Okay, that DNA is the blueprint of the body design. It is called as the blueprint of the body design. Okay, this DNA that contains the specific proteins. Okay, it makes some proteins. That proteins is lead the body design. Okay, so how the DNA gets developed? With the help of the DNA replication. DNA replication is the most basic event in the reproduction. Okay, in this process biochemical reaction takes place inside the cell. Then the two copies of the DNA are produced. Okay, the copying DNA is consisting the produced in the reproducing cell. The two copies of the DNA is produced in the reproducing cell. So this DNA copy having its own cell contents. Okay, normally the DNA copy, it contains the own cell content with the genetic materials or similarities. Okay, so then the two DNA copies separate first do DNA copies are separated inside the nucleus, then what happens, then followed by the cellular apparatus, then followed by the cytoplasm. Okay, then finally the two cells are formed. Okay, finally the one cells divides into two daughter cells are formed. Okay, so sometimes we can during the biochemical reaction occurring in the cells may get affected. Okay, the cells may get affected. So if the cell get affected, there will be a variation, we can see in the DNA copying. So this slight variation will give rise to the slight variation in the offspring. Okay, example, if you are seeing some of the child are look like their parents, some of the child are look like their ancestors. Okay, there are some slight variation we can see in the child because of this slight variation. But many times the DNA or sometimes the DNA copying may be largely affected the cells. Okay, it is largely affected. What happens, the cell may die. Okay, the cell may die. So in case it survive, in case the DNA if survive, it is totally differ from the each other. Okay, it is totally differ from each other. Okay, this variation is the main basis for the evolution. Okay, this inbuilt tendency of the variation during the process of reproduction is the main basis of the evolution. Okay, so we know that the important variation I will tell you later.